subtract big numbers. This strategy builds upon what we've learned about in the past about how to read big numbers. When we look at this number here, we know that this number is 1,200. We also learned that you could clump these two together so that you're reading it in hundreds. If I did that, I would now know that I have 1,200. You can apply the same thing to this problem down here. It's 1,298, or you could say that it is 1,298. Using that strategy of clumping together two place values can make it easier for you to subtract. Let's apply it to the subtraction problem. I have 1,298, and I'm going to subtract 874. I start like normal. I look to the right, and I can do 8 minus 4 no problem. 8 minus 4 is going to be 4. Then I look at my next category. I can take 9 tens and subtract 7 tens and be left with 2 tens. That's not a problem either. Here's where the tricky part comes in. If I have 2 hundreds, I can't give you 800. But if I think about it in a slightly different way, I can now think of it as 1,200. Well, if I have 1,200s, I can give you 800s. I'd be left with 400 left. In this way, without any borrowing, I was able to think of it as a clump and figure out my answer was 424. Let's try with a problem that's a little harder. Again, you start on the right and you see if you can do it normally. 9 ones minus 3 ones is 6 ones. Then if I look, I have 7 tens minus 1 10 is, or 6 tens is 1 10. Here comes my tricky part. I have 4 hundreds, but I need 8 hundreds. Instead of thinking of it as just 4 hundreds alone, I'm going to think of it as 34 hundreds. If I have 3,400 and I take away 8, I count backwards 8, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, I would know that if I had 3,400s and I took away 800s, I would have 26 left. I can't write all 26 here though. I still have 2 in the top category and 6 down below. So I end up with 34 minus 8 being 26. Now I can go across. I have 2 thousands and 2 thousands that I want to take away. I'm left with 0. I have 616. Let's try a little harder yet. If I have 7 ones, I can give you 3 ones. I'm left with 4 ones left. Now if I have no tens, I certainly can't give you 1 10. I can use that grouping strategy. I'm going to group all 810 together. I take everything to the left of that place value. If I have 810 tens, and I give 1 10 away, I'm going to have 809 tens left. Notice I write the tens in the tens place value, but everything else I keep above. Now I'm left with 800s or 8,000s and 0 hundreds. If I have 0 hundreds, I certainly can't give you 400s, so again, I'm going to think about clumping it. This time, I'm going to clump it as 80 hundreds, subtracting 4. Well, 80 subtract 4 is going to end up giving me 76. Cross off everything that you've ended up using. Now I have 7,000s, I want to take away 1,000, I'm left with 1. It's just a different way of thinking about that strategy. I want you to try this one yourself. If you need, you can stop and rewind the video to watch it again. When you think you have it solved on a whiteboard, go ahead and push play to check your work. Okay, if you have finished solving the problem, you can continue playing and let's check our work. We start off to the right like normal. 7 minus 3 is going to give us 4. Now I have 0 tens and I want 6. That doesn't work, so I'm going to clump it together. I have 580 tens now. 580 back up 6 is going to give us 574. Notice I wrote the 570 on top. I've replaced the 5 and the 8 with a 5 and a 7. Now I have 700s. I want to take away 3. That's no problem. I end up with 4. I have 5,000s. I want to take away 3. That's no problem. I end up with 2. Your answer should have been 2,444. If this makes sense to you, you can go ahead and continue on with your next activity.